start by reading the headline. Why even trees could be your enemy in pollution season. Here, the headline asks us the question that trees that are those they are our friend, but could they be our enemy? So let us read the article first and we will discover if it is true or not. Arjun and Ashoka are good for Delhi's foul air, but mango isn't. Teak and banyan are perfect for our neighborhood parks, but not sesame and mahua. Sounds paradoxical. Here, they says that trees are good for our environment, but not all trees. And this sounds paradoxical. Here, the word foul means dirty. The opposite of foul is fair. Then the next word is paradoxical. Paradoxical means without logic. Like the word says that this paragraph says that trees are not good for us. So doesn't it sound without logic? Next, the sentence, next paragraph. Scientists at Indian Institute of Science Education Research, Mohali, have the answer. So the answer given by the scientist, not any random persons. They said a recent study conducted by them found that while all these trees are green on paper, some cleanse the foul city air, but others add to toxic load. The finding, let's understand the sentence. What the scientists have found that although all the trees are green on paper, like all the trees takes carbon dioxide and gives us oxygen, so that's why the trees are good for us, good for our environment. But some trees within that cleans the air, some trees within that cleans the air, and others also made toxic load, means other trees gives substances in the air that makes the air toxic, that makes the air harmful for us. The findings hinged on a tool, Air Quality Impact Index, they developed to assess how different trees species influence urban air quality. So here the sentence, from here to here, the sentence says that the researchers have created a new tool to assess. Assess means to evaluate how a kind of tree influences the air quality of a specific area. Next one is picture this. Like the author says to imagine this. When we walk through a forest, the refreshing whiffs come from hydrocarbon like terpene released by trees. When we walk through a forest, we come across the air that comes from that is purified by the trees, and that is made of that air is consist of many chemicals that is released by the trees. And one is terpene. In clean air, these biogenic volatile organic compounds are harmless. So in the forest, these chemicals are not harmful. However, these chemicals released by the trees in urban environment react with nitrogen oxide and volatile organic compounds emitted from vehicle exhaust industries and other combustion sources such as wood or garbage burning. So here it says that the chemical released by the trees combined with nitrogen oxide and volatile organic compounds. These are the vehicle exhaust, the gas or the industry emissions, or any kind of burning process. So the chemicals from the trees combines with these compounds, and what happens after that? This interaction leads to formation of large amount of ozone, and it is linked to impaired lung function, airway inflammation and asthma attack and other toxic secondary pollutants, said Dr. Vinayak Sinha, Associate Professor in Earth and Environmental Science, IISER. So here this paragraph clearly says that when the chemicals come from coming from the tree get combined with the VOC and other particles that is present in our environment and creates a kind of atmosphere that is harmful for our lung function and airway inflammation and other kind of diseases like asthma. Next paragraph. The problem doesn't end here. BVOC emissions also lead to creation of secondary organic aerosols. So the problem doesn't end here. This BVOC emission also creates another thing that is called secondary organic aerosols. What are these? They are fine particles. So what are the fine particles? Fine particles are like small little pieces of waste that revolves around the air, that makes the air unhealthy, that makes the air harmful for us, and that is says that further degrade air quality and can worsen the spread of allergic pollens. That is why if this BVOC emission continuously happens, it can worsen the spread of allergic pollens. Pollens are the powders that created from the trees. Next paragraph. AQII comes in handy in this situation. So in order to fight this situation, AQII is the best one. Unlike traditional indices such as Anticipated Performance Index (API), a scoring system used to evaluate how well a plant species will perform in a specific environment, AQII incorporates a tree's pollution uptake ability, its emissions of ozone and aerosol precursors, and its pollen allergy potential. So here it says that here two types of tools are compared, like API that scores the plant species how they perform in a specific environment, but the AQII, the new one, is the tool that helps to understand that how trees can help us in creating a good environment, or they can pollute our surroundings more. Using AQII, the IISER study offers a guide to city planners to select trees that clean the air rather than unintentionally contribute to unintentionally contributing to polluting it. So we can use this tool to select the trees that are good for us and that are less harmful, that are not polluting. For instance, mango, a high emitter of isoprene, a monoterpenes, can worsen ozone levels in already polluted area, while Ashoka, a native Indian species, and a low emitter can help absorb more pollutants than it releases. So here in the sentence we can see that mango tree is not good for our environment in the urban area, but the Ashoka tree that can be found many places in India, that is good in urban areas.